business building, you will talk about incentives. And if you see this picture, this is the carrot that they use to put on the horse, so the horse will follow it. So the carrot is like incentive. First of all, many companies or small business, they have times for ups and downs. And the solution, and here where the management come to the scene. Because the solutions that the management will suggest for companies that having a good time are different from the solutions the management will suggest for companies having a bad time, except incentives, because incentives can be used in both ways. Can be used by companies having a bad time by motivating the employees to pick up the company and lift it up, and also can be used in companies having a boom time that can help them to keep up the good times. My main ideas today that I'm going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to talk about the definition of incentives. Then I'm going to move to incentive programs. Third, I'm going to talk about kinds of incentives, why incentives are important to companies, the pros and cons of incentives, and then last, I'm going to talk about the incentives effect on employees. First, the definition of incentives is a thing that motivates or encourages one to do something. So it's something that will encourage employees or anything to move from one situation to a better one. And this is the concept of development. And development in the management that can keep companies competitive in the market. In 1999, the Incentive Federation conducted a study. The study showed that incentives can reduce the cost by 65% and can increase the profitability by 62%. And those are the two top key decisions factors when designing a motivation program. The incentives programs, there are two kinds of incentive programs. The first kind is individual incentive programs. Now, usually the individual will get a fixed bonus, generally speaking, because it's a choice that you'll do this thing, you will get the incentive. If you didn't, then it's your choice. But in group incentives, I mean, the team will set the group for the team itself. Nobody will set goals for teams. So that's why they will keep putting goals for themselves, and they will get incentives depending on the number of goals they will achieve. The difference between those two programs is that individual programs are usually, if one individual he got a low earnings, it doesn't affect the others. But in the group incentives programs, all the members in the group will be under pressure because they will get eventually the same bonus. I mean, it will be divided on them. Kinds of incentives. First, there is the cash incentives, bonus or a raise. And most of the employees like that kind because it's give them the freedom to act with the money like they want. Second, there's the events incentives, like a ticket for a musical concert or a sport event. But this is not very a good choice because it's hard for companies to know what type of events that every employee like. So because the goal of incentives is to make the employee happy. And if he didn't like musical events, then what's the point? The third, there is the day off incentives. For example, they will give them a long weekend or something. But that choice is not very, it's not the favorite for managers because the point of incentives and encouraging is to encourage the employee to work harder. And sitting at home watching TV or something doesn't make them work harder. Fourth, merchandise incentives. Like coupons or gifts from the company. The fifth kind is travel incentives, like paid vacation. This kind, I mean, employees like this kind of incentives because usually the companies will sign contracts with travel agency, And if one employee wants to go by himself, it will cost him a lot, but through incentives, he can do it for free. Now, why incentives are important to companies? Incentives are used to reach the company business goal. Every manager, he will not give something unless he will get something back. So before any manager, he will design an incentive program. He will set the goals. If he encourage or he motivate the employees, then what he will get. The second point, that incentives can influence the success of companies through employee satisfaction and self-motivation. The third point is designed to reciprocate positive internal and external attitude, and this is one of the key points that make the incentives very important. Because if the employees have a positive internal attitude, that will make the work environment very good, and the company from inside will be very comfortable for everyone. And the employees will also have a good or a positive external attitude, like positive thinking. So if they have the external attitude, that will make them respect the company and respect the customers of the company as well. And if they respect the customers, that can ensure the customers' loyalty, which can be translated into profit, which is the main goal of any company. And also incentives can reduce the cost and can increase the profits. Now let's move to the pros and cons of individual incentives. Now, the individual incentives can ensure that they are top performers, because everyone will be motivated to work. And also, like we see in this picture, it can inspire underachievers. Everyone will try to go to a higher position, because anyone go to a higher position, he will get more incentives. And individual can feel valued for their personal work, because they will be rewarded. Individuals will be able to control their own success. And about the cons, it can undermine the teamwork, because every employee will work for his own benefit. Can also cause a bad competition. Employees may find ways to decrease the productivity of others. They will try to make internal problems in the company because they want to get the incentives for themselves only. And there are few employees that receive the benefits because it's for individual. Now let's move to the pros and cons for group incentives. Group incentives can ensure teamwork building. This is one of the key points, that because teamwork building can fix many problems through sharing ideas, and members can learn from each other. They can share experience and etc. And about the cons, teams may struggle to work together because some people we cannot work with them. Some people are lazy. Some people are hard to convince. So that can cause some problems. At this level, the businessman tried to focus more on incentives, because all of the benefits that I just said. Until Google company have set a great example in how to motivate the employees. They know that the benefits from incentives, so they aimed for motivating the employees on every day. And to do that, they have made the company crazy from inside. They put swimming pools, jacuzzi, best restaurants, and even a nap room if someone was tired. Yeah, I wish I could work. And all of that without even asking the employees to be at work in a specific time. They only just wanted the job to be done in the scheduled time. So let's watch a video about Google company, and we can see the loyalty of the company, the employees' loyalty for the company in their eyes, and the real effect of incentives.
Google it's kind of a unique company for me and I think for a lot of people that work there. What Google does is it allows you a fantastic environment to be innovative and to get your product developed really quickly. It is a very different structure than the rest of the engineering community.
We always really try to avoid bureaucracy so that people can really do what makes sense in their project.
One thing that's great about Google is that you have a lot of autonomy over your product and its directions.
We're encouraged to work on whatever we think is important. Often the best ideas come from employees.
At Google, if you come in your first week and you have a good idea on how things should be done, and people agree with you, in that first week you can start making those changes.
The biggest resource is definitely the people.
One of the things that attracted me to Google and makes it a very comfortable place is they hire people who are very good.
I think Google goes after people that are entrepreneurial, that are kind of go-getters.
Everyone in the company is just so accessible and everyone's really driven to make the company succeed.
No two employees will have had the same background. There's no formula.
We have people straight out of college, we have people who've been in the industry for 25 years.
The concentration of talent that we have at Google is really quite amazing.
I come to work and I look forward to the conversations I'm going to have during the day with my colleagues and with people I haven't met yet within the company, because I know that today I'm going to find 5 new great ideas that I'm going to get excited about.
We have yoga, we have Pilates.
I love massages, I'm spa cleaning.
Let me mention the food.
Food here, by the way, is great.
We have a French lunch where we get together and we speak French. We have the great cafeterias.
There's any type of amazing cuisine, even better than some of the restaurants in New York.
That's an extra benefit and pretty nice.
You know that what you're working on will be seen by millions and millions of people, and when you have that kind of visibility.
You're in a position to make a difference to people that you've never met.
It's something that makes it just fun to go to work in the morning because you're thinking about the people that you're going to talk to, the problems that you're going to try to tackle and solve. So it's really a great place to work.
So we can see it's very obvious how can incentives and motivation can make the internal environment of the company make it very unique. And if you notice in the video, one of the guys, he said that I wake up every morning and I'm excited to go to work because he don't feel like he is going to work. He feel like he's going to the class or to his home. So yeah, it's a very important thing. I mean, for companies. Finally, we talked about the definition of incentives, the incentives programs, and the kind of incentives and why incentives are important to companies, and the pros and cons of incentives. Then we saw the incentives effects on employees. Before I end my presentation, I will give you incentives.